I actually think I just had a proper sleep, like from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. And it feels weird. It's like, it's nice. I woke up naturally and then looked at the clock and it was 9 a.m. I'm literally gobsmacked. I don't know what woke me up at 5 and 6. It was like between 5 and 6 that I woke up first. I then got up, had a shower, did a bit of work, and then went back to bed. Normally, I can't go back to bed. And it was just peaceful today. I think the weather is a cloudy day after a sunny day, so everyone's just decided to not get up, and that meant I could sleep. I bumped into one of the local councillors in the street yesterday. She used to be mayor, and I was scared of bumping into her because I've sent so many emails swearing about the bin crew and the incompetence of the council, putting litter everywhere, filling the air with smog, the nights with noise, the streets with litter, my dreams with nightmares. And she's just so happy and cheerful to see me. She only lives a few houses away, and she likes looking at the flowers on the balcony. And I was surprised she still liked me after all these emails. And we had a good chat, and she was still on my case to reduce the number of collections on our street, and she congratulated me for keeping fighting, and because it's actually changed all the timings of the bin collections. And then she made me. I can't walk right out my house at the moment, because if I walk right, I end up on the Uxbridge Road, and it's piled with litter, and the litter annoys me that I might start kicking the litter onto the street and emailing my MP that the place is a mess. And so I just don't walk right at the moment. I go left through a park, and I do a really long diversion to avoid looking at any litter bags. And I'm worried that one day that path will be gone because they'll fill it with litter, and I can't use that path at night because parks close at night, and I can't drive my car that way. So if I want to use my car, I have to drive to the Uxbridge Road, and I just haven't used my car for a couple of weeks. And I told her I hadn't gone to the end of the road, and then she sort of forcibly persuaded me to come with her, and she escorted me to the end of the road. And it's strange because earlier in the day I was actually thinking I was going to ask a friend and neighbour whether he could drive my car around the corner so I could go get in it there, so I didn't have to drive around the I might need a carer. It's like people have asked me. Yeah. Anyway, she walked me down the end of the road, and then I could somewhat deal with the litter because one of the people that I would email about it is with me as I walk past it, and she can do something about it. And she hears all my arguments about how other boroughs just empty the bins directly into vans, and we're dumping it on the pavement, and then that's encouraging everyone else. And she did start saying that they were fining everyone else, but I was like, it's our fault that people are putting it there. We're encouraging them to put litter there by first placing a council bag there. So anyway, we're walking past the ground zero, the litter bin, and I'm holding it all together because she's with me. It's really nice. She's helped me get out the street for the first time for weeks, and I'm just thinking I don't want to get angry about anything. I don't talk about the bike lanes, don't talk about all the clutter on the pavement. And then she just starts, not shouting, but raising her voice at some van driver that's parked across part of the pavement. And it just made me feel so, it was like, now I know why she was mayor. It was like before she was always so quiet, really happy and pleasant and lovely to talk to, but always so calm and collected and quiet. And so I wondered how you could ever get that much done unless you're sometimes aggressive. And her sort of having a go at this van driver made me feel like less of a nutter. And I feel so much better that she's not angry with me for all the swearing. She actually says she finds my emails quite pleasant because they're good, they're logical. There's lots of arguments in them. I'm not just saying I hate people, and they made me believe for a while that I was I was the worst person in the world at swearing at them. And then, because I used to think loads of people they actually made me think no one else is as angry as me and I'm the only one swearing at them and that everyone's going to come for me and that they're going to think lock me up because of what they're worried I might do. I missed I missed whether I was racing then. Yeah, she's on the case about the litter. She's on the case about the endless collections. On the basis of pollution, they've got all these signs everywhere going, we want to be the greenest borough. And they've got thousands of trucks driving to the moon and back, pumping out diesel smoke. They've got unregulated engines on the back of flatbed trucks, literally pumping out smog. And I think the next time I see one of them, I'm just going to go and turn it off and stand in the way of it and say, I'm turning this off for everyone's safety. You're poisoning people. Call the police. Guy's approaching me. Is it classic mode? Can I just spin and take him out? Oh, he can take me out. Maybe he's spun as well at the same time as the first one. Bye. There's Bolwell blueprints in this. And I haven't done the 1 versus 1 because I don't want to get Arash and Bolwell and yeah. I'm a very peculiar neighbour. When I get angry, I must be like the most unpleasant neighbour in the universe. But then I'm doing so much on the other days, it sort of makes up for it, and I get forgiven. Oh, I'm lucky with that. He wrecked landing on top of me. I hit the barrel too early then to get a nice spin. Oh! Oh, they were C-class. Am I allowed to use C-class yet? No. I've got to do another race in bronze. I don't know why they use different words for multiplayer 1 to multiplayer 2 for the bronze, silver, gold. It's just confusing. Maybe they thought it would be easier for us to communicate with each other because you could say, I'm in Novice League, and then that immediately says that's multiplayer 2 instead of multiplayer 1. Yeah. And then now I'm confused. Is it only Master? It's Master and Legend. Elite and what? Elite and Pro? No, Pro's Gold. Pro, Elite. I don't even know because they mixed it up with Master and Legend. Why couldn't they just all be the same? You can tell the colour. The colour's easier to remember. It's right behind me. Now can I use Silver League too? Yeah. Right. I'm just clocking this multiplayer off for my wake up races because there's only an hour left of it, and it's one of these 24-hour multiplayers. shall I use? I always use the 599. I want to play with the Club Sport. Should use the Artega though. I'm feeling better because I know this councillor doesn't hate me, but then on Friday when I went a bit nuts this week, I sent a neighbour an email calling a load of people that he probably respects a bunch of idiots. And I shouldn't have probably done that. He'll forgive me. He'll pretend like it didn't happen. Because I've sent so many crazy emails to him. Wait. Oh, sorry. Gotta concentrate. Oh wait, number one just appeared back. My smiley face was too early. I'm going to fix this litter problem. I'm going to fix this smog from the bin trucks and the nightly scarab vehicles. That at the moment, the only KPI the council have for how clean the borough is. So if you say to them, is it clean? Their answer is, we're cleaning more. So that implies that it must be cleaner, but it's not. They just say we're cleaning more. And that's pretty much the same for everything they do. Is there something wrong? We're doing more to fix it. So their answer is always that as long as they spend more on it and they look like they're doing more, then no one can shout at them that they're not doing their job. And these 24-hour street sweeping vehicles are ridiculous. They drive back and forth up the same bit of road that no one's walked down or driven down all night long, cleaning the same bit that's clean. And I've tried to explain to the council that if you clean a mirror that's clean, it doesn't do anything. It's the same thing. So they're just, well, why wouldn't you want it cleaned more? And actually the councillor that put it all in place, I'll say his name again, Wesley Harcourt, he bought all these vehicles, very proud of himself for buying this fleet of vehicles, which are called scarabs. Scarabs are a nasty beetle that causes you a problem. And I just think about the pyramids, that all the movies with them in Egyptian pyramids eating people. It's like, it's just death is scarabs. And they go around scratching the ground. With 2 engines on their vehicle, the second engine that drives the Hoover doesn't have to have any emission standards. So when an MOT, a road test is done in England on those vehicles, they only test the engine that drives the actual vehicle. The other engine, the secondary engine, and all these types of vehicles doesn't fall under any emission standards that they have to comply to. I spoke to this guy, a year after they got put in place, that must be 9 years ago now, and had a good discussion with him on the phone where he ended up apologising because he had never thought about noise in all of the implementation of these vehicles. He had never thought, oh, if I run all these heavy goods vehicles at night, that might cause some noise for local residents. And he apologised for it, and so I thought he might actually do something about it. But 9 years later, he still doesn't give a toss. It does make me really dislike that guy. I just imagine him he pleased his friends by signing the deal. Like this morning when I'm thinking about the green, all the little green. So I've said that in other boroughs they might empty bins directly into a van, and they don't use bags in the bin either. So they're not using any plastic bags to store all this rubbish. In ours, they're emptying bins that are half empty and storing everything in its own plastic bag and piling these plastic bags up. And the plastic bags, I doubt Serco, I'm thinking whether Serco make their own plastic bags or they buy them from another company, and then whoever this other company is that sell these plastic bags are doing very, very well out of Hammersmith and Fulham. And so they would be very motivated to maintain the current process, because if we stop using plastic bags, they're going to lose like 1 million bags a month sale. And these bags do not look biodegradable in any way, and even if they are biodegradable, I don't really believe that. I worked for Ocado and we had biodegradable bags. I'm still uncertain that they actually degrade all the way or they turn into those little balls. I'm not sure. I was told they were properly biodegradable when I worked at Ocado. But those bags were different to these green bags that Serco seemed to use. And these green bags, I can't see anywhere on them bragging on the bag about that bag being made from recycled materials or being biodegradable. And each one of those bags, if you're worried about the stupid plastic straws, each one of those bags is probably 40 straws. They're using thousands and thousands of them every day, just on a few streets, a handful of streets. Capri Sun changed to a paper straw, and it was hard enough to get a straw in a Capri Sun in the good old days, but now it's a paper straw in the dark. If you try and get a straw in a Capri Sun in the dark, you make such a mess. And then the irony of them changing the straw from plastic to paper when the rest of the thing is sort of tinfoil, and they even have to put the paper straw in a plastic wrapper to keep it dry. And then when you're drinking your Capri Sun, if you don't drink it in 10 minutes flat, the straw stops working because it absorbs all the liquid and closes up. That same thing happens now with like the McDonald's straws, the paper straws in McDonald's or KFC. If you don't drink your drink like super fast, the straw doesn't work anymore. It's like, I actually think if I ever go again, I'd have to ask for like multiple straws to manage to finish my drink. So I might need 4 paper straws for every plastic. Well, actually, I could have reused the plastic straw probably for 12 weeks, but I need 4 paper straws per drink. I doubt that's very eco-balanced. Why not just not use a straw instead of worry about replacing them all with paper? Just use fewer straws. And it's not straws that are killing the planet. Don't be naive. This attitude from the council of just doing more to just endlessly doing more is just pumping. How did someone describe it? Another person in the documentary, I think that for a different thing, it's like a need for infinite growth. People just see society growing infinitely without bounds, and we're kind of bound unless we get some more space off this planet. It's all right. Oh, I need another shower after my mini sleep. But it's a shame, the sky's completely grey and my household robot is saying there's thunderstorms. I'm not saying her name because it triggers her to listen. I've actually put her in so many rooms it's useful for different things. But I'd much rather call her Isaac. I saw there was a movie, Paycheck, and I think they really nicely predicted the household robot in Paycheck. And in that, he called out Isaac to dim the lights or something. And it's a cooler code word. I want Isaac to help me out regularly, not Alexa. She nearly hurt me. Oh no, don't land upside down. The barrel roll went strange and I couldn't see which way round it was because of all the noise on the screen. Oh, where am I? In the next league. Before I bumped into this woman yesterday on the street, the second before I was mumbling to myself about all the problems I was going to face in arguing about the multiple collections on our street, because the crews have been playing a game for the past 4 weeks to lay seeds to make it seem like they needed more. They've been turning up and deliberately not taking rubbish to force one block to collectively complain that they're not doing their job properly. So they go, oh, well, we need to come more then. But what they've been doing is turning up, looking at a gate and pretending they don't have the key and then just driving off. And then 1 week, I think on April 1st, they removed the lock from the gate and they got the key and they just said, oh, the lock was broken, we had to take it off. But a broken lock wasn't taken off. The way the lock had been removed, only someone with a working key could have removed it that way. Oh my God, that was nearly beautiful. Why the car had done that barrel roll and done a double KD, but one of the KDs was me, unfortunately. What was I talking about? I lost my train of thought. I need it back. 40 points. I was just talking about the point game loss was better if it was unlimited. It shouldn't be capped to 20, and then I lose 40, and it hurt a little bit. But what was I talking about? Yeah, the crew could have only removed this lock had they had the key, because they basically unlocked the lock, opened the gate, and then locked the lock and removed the bolt. They had left the bolt open, so the deadbolt that goes in to keep the gate closed was open, and nothing had been forced. So you couldn't have forced the gate open with the bolt open. You must have removed the bolt by turning the key, then opened it, then re-ejected the bolt by turning the key again, and then used a screwdriver to remove the actual lock canister. And then they just told everyone, oh, the lock was broken. They must have thrown our lock in a bush. I think I explained them for 10 days I'm having to, and my car's been blocked in because the lock's been removed from this gate. And then when the lock gets put back, they refuse to go through it, and everyone behind the lock complains that they're not picking their rubbish up, so they can go, oh, look how much we're needed. We've got to do 3 collections a week. Last Monday, I sat in the park, well, every day I sit in the park at about 8 a.m. And there were three trucks within 100 meters of me. Literally every direction, there was another truck doing a different pickup. So it was such perfect timing for me to bump into her, because I was starting to boil up. and get angry with my neighbours that complain when the rubbish is littering the streets, because they use it again. I agree with them, we should complain, but they don't really realise what it's used to do. Oh, I got extra airtime. They don't really realise what it's used to do against us. Like, one of my other neighbours asked the council to cut a hedge because they thought people were putting litter in it, and then they literally came the next morning at 7 a.m. outside her bedroom window and cut that hedge, and she's learnt never to ever ask them to cut the hedge again. It's much better just buy a pair of clippers, cut the hedge yourself. Your life will be much better. I'm waiting deliberately, hit me. Really close. People with suicide KD here. It's very easy to take a risk. Oh. Oh, I'm done. I feel a bit tired. Not that I need to go back to sleep. A bit tired from a recording session. From ranting. Good luck, guys. I'm madder than you.